Hello once again, all my fellow patriots and you filthy leftist stalkers out there, and I know you're there because I hear from you. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Angela Box. You're watching Angela's Soapbox, where I say what you are thinking. And I always forget to do like basic YouTube housekeeping stuff like every time. So let me just get this out of the way. If you're not a subscriber, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe notification and tell your friends about my content. Tell the people you despise as well, because as I said, I get some really fun hate mail and they don't like me very much, which I just like. I'm like, oh yes, bring it, keep it coming, because I just go smack them. Anyway, it's fun. Also, if you are not also aware, I write a weekly article on angelasoapbox.com. See how that all ties together? It's brilliant. Anyway, this week's article is called The Coronavirus Hoax, Like the Russia Hoax, only crappier, but with the same motive. Spoiler alert. And I will also link that down below. And if you also are kind of new to the movement of QAnon, if you're not familiar with what that is, you know, they're really disparaging it pretty hard in the media right now. So it means we're getting pretty close. I imagine, because they're coming hard for QAnon. And I'm just going to say this. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's not real. It's interesting. Let's leave it at that. And I suggest everyone, you know, discover for yourself, think for yourself, and do not follow along just because someone says something is crazy or wrong, because look at the source who's saying it's crazy and wrong. It's the same people who've been lying to you for time immemorial. The media, the Democrats, the deep state. So think for yourself. I will link some information down below. Also, this Saturday is my inaugural broadcast on Raging Elephants Radio. I'm going to be having an hour show every Saturday, and it's called Angela's Soapbox. I've integrated everything, so it's like so easy to remember. Anyway, my friend Claver, who runs Raging Elephants Radio, is a great guy, fantastic patriot, and he approached me and wants me to do a show for him, and I'm going to do it, and it will be great fun, and I hope you tune in. It is on RagingElephantsRadio.com. It is on the TuneIn app. And you can also get it directly on the website as well. But it is in the TuneIn app. So go to your app store, go to get your TuneIn app, and then look for Raging Elephants Radio. And it's there. So I start on Saturday. I start my job on Saturday, so I'm excited. But, you know, without further ado, also on my channel, I give a plastic straw, Greta Thunberg would approve, to a filthy leftist every week. And I live in Houston, and so this week's straw can go to no other but our little tyrannical Harris County judge, Lina Hildago. So cheers to you, tantruming Tyrant Toddler. I mean, this woman, I think, is probably the most hated woman in Houston at this point. She is a nightmare. So, you know, our Mayor Turner is not great at all, but it's the strangest thing, like, she's extra tyrannical. Like, he's bad, but she's like ramped everything up. Like, she wanted everyone to wear masks, and Governor Abbott's like, no, that's not happening. And then a couple days ago, she launched a website that encourages fellow Houstonians to rat out other Houstonians, which is very Stasi, I think, and very good Gestapo tactics. I mean, Lina, girl, you learned from Che, you learned from Castro, you learned from Stalin and Mao. You're doing it right, girl. Yes, get those filthy Houstonians to spy on their neighbors and tell you all about it so you can show up at their work and arrest them and find them. I am not making this up. I will also link that down below, because I sent in a little complaint today, and let's just say it wasn't fit for children, what I said to Lina and Sylvester. But anyway, I digress. So much to talk about this week that I do not want this to go longer than 15 minutes. So I need to dive right in. So, you know, as we've been seeing the coronavirus scam play out, and I call it the scam in my article, which I will link down below, please share. We see more and more that it's the latest act in the Get Trump saga. This is just the latest event that the deep state, the Democrats, the media are hyping to try and get Trump. And what Trump really wisely did at the very beginning, because again, remember, Fauci's deep state, Birx less or so, but I still think deep state. But Trump didn't know. He's not a doctor, so he saw these crazy models, and he thought he had no choice but to go, well, I mean, gosh, this looks pretty bad. I mean, he is the one that closed the border with China when Fauci and the CDC and the WHO was saying, no, you shouldn't do that. I mean, a total setup if there ever was one. But anyway, he's the one who shut the borders. He's the one who recognized that this could be a problem. The models looked really, really dire. As we've gone on, we've seen, well, probably not so dire. You look at Sweden. Sweden has, couple thousand, 3,000 deaths in a population about as large as Michigan, I believe. They had no lockdown. So we're starting to see that the lockdown measures do not work. And what Trump did was so smart is that he left it up to the states and the localities to do it. And, the red state, it's just very interesting. Red state governors, red state mayors, pretty much, we're starting to ease up. Things are going back to normal, certainly in lots of red states. Things are opening back up. People are, still annoyed about not being able to go to the gym, me. But hopefully that's going to be changing soon. But in the blue states, man, even without a reason to do so, even without the death rate that would justify such draconian measures, I mean, man, they have gone full tyrant. And I think that's what Trump's whole point is to show who are the tyrants, who are not the tyrants. I mean, the deep state, the Democrats wanted him to be the one to lock everything down and to behave tyrannically. So then they could flip around and say, look what a tyrant Trump is. But that's not what's happening. They are being tyrants. And let's face it, any leftist at any given time is basically 30 seconds away from being a complete despot anyway. And now they're really showing their true colors. I mean, look, lots been said about Governor Whitmer. We can... Coronavirus evidently is very attracted to paint, seeds, and motorboats on Lake Michigan because you're not allowed to do any of that. But you can have a regular boat, but not a motorboat because the corona really likes that evidently. So, she's a complete nightmare. She's also one of these governors who's, bought into the whole, let's buy these Chinese drones. And they're literally Chinese drones that's sending data back to China. And they bought all these drones to monitor their citizens. I mean, this is getting to be beyond 1984, beyond Brave New World. These drones going around, warning, warning, you are standing too close to each other. You must social distance. You are not immune to this virus. Warning, separate. I mean, if I saw a drone, I'd be like this. And I would be like, no, I'm not doing that. And then I would hit it out of the sky, and it would be so much fun. If it got close enough to me, I would hit it out of the sky. But, Whitmer's from hell. We've got the Illinois governor who actually has the stones to lecture a reporter who said, hey, governor, how come if you've got this crazy stay-at-home order for all of Illinois, and we'll get to Chicago in a minute, for all of Illinois, how come your family went to Florida and is, hanging out on a ranch on a vacation? I mean, is that essential travel? And he said, my family is not your concern, and families are off limits, and I'm the governor and you're not. I mean, just complete despotism. It's like, wow. In Chicago, double bagger Lori Lightfoot, and I say double bagger, look it up if you don't know what it means. Rashida Tlaib double bagger, Lori Lightfoot double bagger. I mean, that's a close call. Could go either way for that one. Anyway, the horrific Chicago mayor got caught going to the hairdresser, and instead of saying, yeah, that wasn't cool of me, I'm sorry, my bad, I'm sorry, she doubled down. She said, well, I'm in the public eye, and I take my hygiene very seriously, unlike you ruffians who enjoy being smelly and having 4-inch roots. I am on TV, and you're not. That's basically was her attitude. It's like, okay. Keep digging that hole, guys. And then, of course, Gavin Newsom. Oh, Gavin Newsom. A couple weeks ago, I was saying, he's a tyrant, but he's not being completely insane. Like he's working with Trump. He's not bashing Trump like everybody else is. Like, okay, he's not terrible. I mean, he's terrible, but he's not as terrible as everyone else reflexively bashing him. But boy, he has now reverted true to form. So this weekend, he decided to close beaches. Not all the beaches in California, just the ones in Orange County, where just so happen his political opponents live. Again, I mean, that's pretty ballsy, Gavin, to do that. But it's really eye-opening to so many people. And I mean, again, I could go on and on. We could talk about, de Blasio needing to go to the gym when the rest of us can't go to the gym. I could go on and on and on with examples of these people. But it's just gone to show that, again, the left, Democrats, the media, they are just an inch away from tyranny at every given moment. And the media is completely cheering it on. And of course their justification is, what, you don't want to save lives? Do you want people to die? And now the latest thing is, of course, the masks, which I will not wear, ever. I will not comply. And if someone tells me I need to put one on, I will make a note of where to never go again. And I would never, ever go back there. And I will be very devastated if my hair salon tells me to wear a mask, because I might make an exception for that, because my girl is the blonde whisperer. She's brilliant. But anyway, that's a whole nother issue. Yeah, I'm a hypocrite when it comes to my hair. Deal with it. All right. So anyway, this mask thing is so telling as well. And I feel like that the media and the Democrat and the left and the deep state are using it as another way to control people, to shame people into submission. And it's also going to be a good way for them to tell who are the people who we can control and who are the problematic ones. As millennial, triggered people like to say, it's problematic. Who are the problematic people who aren't going to wear masks? Me, Exhibit A. It's really kind of funny, because now that it's really become somewhat of a political divide on are you wearing a mask? Are you not wearing a mask? Obviously in red states, you're going to see far fewer masks. But in certain cities you go to, you see certain people wear masks that don't wear masks. There's been studies now done that certain ethnic groups wear masks over other ethnic groups, and certainly Democrats wear masks over Republicans. That's a no-brainer. So I like to do a little tip of the hat anytime I see a rebel out there breathing the air freely without a piece of cloth covering their face. And it's all going to be all well and good until someone gets robbed. And it's like, what do you look like? What do you look like? I don't know. He had a mask on. Think about it, guys. Think for yourself. This is a scam. This is a hoax. If it wasn't a scam and a hoax, then we'd have the guy who made up the models, who all of a sudden just had to go see his married girlfriend who got busted for it. He went out in the wild where the corona live, and he was just fine. So it's all BS. And I think more and more people are waking up to it. So thank God for that. Now, before we leave, I have to touch on Joe Biden. Did you see how I did that? I have to touch on Joe Biden. I have to touch, smell some hair. On Joe Biden. Now, okay. So here's my take on Tara Reade. I don't know if she's telling the truth. I don't know if she's not telling the truth. I started off kind of believing her more. Oh, God, this piece of hair. I took out my halo. This is just all my hair now. It's like, oh my God, it's all Ange. Woo! Anyway, I started off really believing her because she had some contemporaneous utterances to people, which many of these, the Kavanaugh people certainly didn't. Christine Blasey Ford, nobody corroborates anything I said, but I'm a hero to the idiot left, and they gave me $1 million because I'm a Me Too survivor. Again, yeah, Me Too, only if they're attacking Republicans. Only if they're attacking Republicans. It has nothing to do with women. So another silver lining of all of this Joe Biden stuff is that we're now seeing that the Me Too movement is complete garbage, as it always was. And it's just, it's just the latest example. I mean, they did it with Bill Clinton in the 90s. They wouldn't believe Broderick or Kathleen Willey or Paula Jones or anybody else. They, denigrated the late Linda Tripp's looks. It was just terrible what they did to all those women who, had the audacity to accuse the first black president, Bill Clinton, of doing anything other than, having tea and crumpets with women, which he did horrible, horrible things. I mean, anyone with a brain knows it. But anyway, Joe Biden, he's creepy. He's weird. He probably did it. But now it's starting to come out that, she had some weird tweets about motivation and perhaps supporting Bernie Sanders, which is her right to do, but also kind of making affirmative statements about Biden a few years ago. I mean, some things are just not completely kosher, But I actually, at the end of the day, do think it happened. And she didn't want to blow up her career, and she didn't want to destroy Biden, which is actually very nice of her, because Biden certainly has no problem destroying her now, does he? And the Democrats certainly have no problem destroying her, as she gets death threats and, New York Times columnists hoping that she drops dead. And I mean, it's amazing, the hypocrisy. And, the New York Times saying, we don't think the FBI or the media should investigate Tara Reade. You know who should do it? Well, it should be the impartial Democrat National Committee, because they're so full of integrity. They've never done anything wrong, like, rigged an election for Hillary Clinton or had an intern killed Seth Rich. They never did anything like that. They are just pure and clean as the wind-driven snow. So they should be the ones to investigate Joe Biden. And so I'll just leave that there, because the Democrats, they want you to live, and Republicans and Trump want you to die. And, we imagine there's somber piano music playing around me, and I hope that you're like me and that you want to save lives. And I want you to stay safe and stay home and believe Joe Biden, because Joe Biden is a good man, and he's got it all together. He knows exactly what day it is or what month it is at any given time, and he should be our president, because don't you want to stay safe and stay alive? So everyone, make sure to keep wearing that mask. Keep being a sheep. Keep voting Democrat. Keep believing everything they tell you, or don't, and open your eyes and think for yourself. And remember, my fellow patriots, remember, we will get through this nonsense, and it is nonsense, and it is BS, and it's for one reason, and it's to destroy one man. But in reality, it's to destroy us, because as Trump likes to say, they're not after him, they're after you. He's just in the way. But remember, y'all, God wins, and we're going to get through this together. So cheers, everyone. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.